And we have returned. You're listening to CSC Talk Radio. This is Beth Ann. It was $17 million, almost $20 million. That was since May of this year. It's gone up since then that the special counsel investigation has spent of your tax dollars. And now I was watching TV. I know I've got a caller, so hang on, Joe. I wanted to make a point here. Congress can't find the money for the wall, but somehow, some way, President Barack Obama found $125 billion to give to Iran. Where did that come from? Does anybody ever wonder these things? I'm just thinking about things, my youngest boy used to say. I'm just thinking about things. Where did that come from? And they can't come up with $25 billion for this wall. Or 5 now. He's brought it down to 5 just to get it started. Oh, well. We're going to go to Joe in Arkansas. He's got a different topic on his mind. Joe, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm still getting by. How are you, Beth?
I'm doing good, too. Didn't fall down this weekend.
What's that?
I didn't fall down this weekend, so I'm doing good.
Hey, congratulations. All right. Got through another one. With
I
new
did.
entries. Hey, life is good. You were talking about the EMP situation.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say something. This has been on my mind quite a bit recently. And it just reminds me of what I've been thinking about, how, it seems like with the development of technology, we always think of technology as progress that makes life better and so on like that. And in certain ways it does.
Yes.
But it seems like with technology, there's always drawbacks too. It's never complete, absolute, total progress. Everything is better. It seems like there's always trade-offs. One way it makes life better and one way it makes life worse. And particularly with this very advanced, very sophisticated technology that we have these days, it looks to me like one of the problems that comes with that is it makes us more and more dependent upon fewer and fewer people. Like in the days of horse-drawn wagons, anybody in any town, any carpenter in any town could set up a shop and make a wagon. People who had farms all over the place could breed horses. It was a very decentralized technology. It was, the ability to make these wagons and to breed these horses wasn't concentrated in just a few people. And so it was better that way. It was better from that standpoint, I think. But when cars and trucks came along, of course, they're much more advanced, much more high-tech. And so fewer and fewer companies could make the cars and the trucks. And so the whole society got more and more dependent on these cars and trucks, which fewer and fewer companies could make, until we got down to the big three. And so more and more wealth and more power got concentrated in the hands of those big three. And the same with computers now. Everything now depends on these computers. And they're extremely sophisticated, extremely advanced technology. And very few companies, I think, very few people understand them, I think. Very few companies can manufacture them. And so everything has got dependent on these computers that very few companies can manufacture and which, there's not all that many people can understand and, build and repair and all this kind of stuff.
Even if we just bring that down to the vehicles. You can't have a little shade tree mechanic out there fixing the vehicle anymore because they got to plug it into a computer to find out what's not working on it. It's got so many different things going on it. What do they call it? Bells and whistles. That I had to trade. Well, we didn't trade it off. It wasn't worth enough, but I had to get a new vehicle this year, and it just pains me because I haven't had a payment for a long time, and now I've got a payment. But it's got seated heats, and I like that. But that's just another thing to go wrong in it. It takes more energy, takes a little more juice, another thing that's going to drain the battery, another thing that's going to do this or do that. And so every time you find something that makes life a little easier, it's going to also get a little more complicated.
So as we get dependent on fewer and fewer companies to manufacture the high tech that we need for everything, then more and more wealth gets concentrated, more and more power gets concentrated in those few people, those few companies. And so that creates another sort of centralization of power. Our founding fathers wanted to avoid centralization of power.
That's right.
They set up the government with 3 branches to balance each other out. They had these frequent elections so that nobody would stay in office forever and get more and more and more power. But this increasing dependence on high technology that fewer and fewer people can understand and manufacture, that creates another kind of centralization of power that's, I think has become a big problem in today's world.
I heard some guy talking about that the other night, and he said that some of this that they're concerned about right now is going to be a thing of the past. So they are working on something in the background that's going to be competitive or take over or something, but I don't know if it'll be any better than Google or some of these others, that have taken over our lives. I mean, I know you're not online much. You have your website there with your paintings. By the way, this is Joe, our painter, and you can go to my website and look at his, what beautiful gifts those would be for Christmas. Some of his paintings there.
Hey, right on. Thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Portraits are great gifts, too. I take commissions for portraits.
Absolutely, yeah. And that would be a great gift also. Wow, that'd be a really good gift. So if you, where was I going with that? I was selling your paintings and I lost my train of thought. But, I know you're not on the World Wide Web that often, but if you go on there and you search for anything, if you're looking for a new dress for a wedding or something, Joe, the next thing you know, all these dresses are popping up. They're just popping up all over your computer because you looked at something and they've got you traced. They know what you're looking for and they're seeking you out. And so there's nothing sacred anymore if you're searching on the World Wide Web.
Well, another thing is that whenever anything like that pops up, it's always Amazon that's the first one to pop up, to sell it to you.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy it from anybody but Amazon, you've got to really
do a little more searching
with your mouse there to scroll down to find somebody besides Amazon that's selling it.
But you can buy Joe's paintings from Joe, not Amazon. Okay, I'm going to let you go. We're about out of time, Joe. Thank you for good points of that become a centralized power. I appreciate that. So, we've talked about so many different things, and I'm going to finish up here, and I'm not going to dwell on it very long. But Flake, he's continuing to dislike the president, and he's not going to vote on any more judicial nominees from President Donald Trump. Now, they've been holding these for a long time. They've been there a long time. But he's going to hold them now because he thinks Mueller needs a bill to protect him. Now, this is the man that we have spent on his special counsel $17 million to find out about the Russians, to impeach a president duly elected by the people through the Electoral College, established by our founding fathers in their great wisdom. But Flake doesn't like it, and he thinks Mueller needs to be protected, even though the president says he has no intentions of firing him or doing away with the special counsel. Although my advice would be kick him out. I'm done with them. I'm done for them taking the money from the American people. And they want another one. They want another special counsel. Why? When I was listening last night, they were talking about the infiltration of President Trump's administration. There's still some of those there that keep getting put in there that are not Trump people. They don't support his policies. They support globalism. They don't like nationalism. They don't like Americanism. They want open borders. They want cheap wages, and they want the Americans to start suffering. It's time for you to bring America home.